Welcome to dunkshoney.com.au. By popular demand, what I'm going to show you today is how to re-queen a hive. Basically, I've had a lot of requests on how I do it, and this is how I do it. So what I have here is, firstly, you pre-order your queen. I get these from a breeder, and this will just come simply in the mail. So within that, you've got the queen is in there. She's right at the back there, and a number of what they call nurse bees that travel with her, and they just feed her along the road. Up the end here, you'll see this is a sugar plug, and in the end here, you'll see it's just like some sugar or like a marshmallow or something like that who's just plugged up the end. So what they do is, as you'll see, I'll put her in the hive there in a minute, and over the course of the few days, they would eat their way through that, and the other bees will eat their way through that. The reason they do that, if I was to simply put that queen straight into the hive now, that would kill her, because she's not a familiar smell to them. She's not a familiar person, she's not a familiar a pheromone to them. So the other bees will just kill her straight away. So she's a nice young queen. You can see she's got a lot of fur on her back, nice clean wings and so forth. Very beautiful abdomen. So she's mated, and she's mated with a controlled genetics, so I understand what they're all about. What I want to show you here today is this hive here I'm going to re-queen, and the reason being is this hive here is a swarm I've captured. So with a swarm, I don't know what the genetics are and of the bees, and I know I just walked past this other day and a little bit cranky, so that tells me that she's an old queen in there, and we may need to move her on. So what I've done here simply is, I'll show you how I do it. I just give them a bit of a smoke because I've got a couple of people here in the camera, but yeah, just because, as I said, they're a little bit cranky. Simply open it up. If you come over closer here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I've just taken out some hive frames there earlier. So I'll just give them a little bit of smoke, not much. Like I said, this is what I do. But ideally, if you can, come the previous evening, locate the queen and remove her out of there, and then put the new queen in. That just gives the hive about 24 hours to realise that they are queenless, and then they start sending out the messages throughout the hive to raise a new queen. But in this instance here, I'm just going to show you what I would do generally, and just consider it, you've been out here before, you've located the queen 24 hours ago, and that's how we go. So what I'm going to do now is firstly locate the queen now. So you can see here, we look at each frame by frame until we find her. I can't see her on there. You can leave them aside if you like, but it's just up to you. This is, like I said, here we go. Here's a bit of brood and things here now. So you can see she's got a fairly tight brood pattern, and what I'm looking at there is there's no real gaps in amongst it. And this is the first one here. We'll probably see some more brood as we go through, but I'm just looking for the queen now. I can't see her on there. I generally go a lot quicker than this, but for the sake of the video, we're just taking it nice and slow. But this is good, dude, because we don't want the bees to be too upset. It's about 5 PM at the moment, so it's nice. It's just starting to quieten down. You see how the bees are starting to come out at me. Like I said there, a bit earlier they were quite aggressive. I'll just leave those in there. Reason being, there's a bit of brood on there, and I don't want it to be shocked too much by the change in weather, although it's not too cold out here. Okay. So what's happened here is when I put the frames in here, they've, you see how the bees are just coming out a bit? Just a little bit of smoke, and that just calms them down a little bit. Yeah, they're basically stuck there. They're brewed together. So I'll just try my best here to separate them. There we go. What you can do there, you just got to be careful because sometimes the queen can sneak across. Generally she's on the last frame you look at. Well, there she is, okay. So there, see the big queen there? So what I'm going to do, just going to capture her. I've got some other plans for her. Okay, so here she is here. I'll just simply caught her, put her in that box there. Okay, so what I want to do now is just put this here. So I said I've got some other plans for her, but yeah, basically what I'll do now, just have a bit of a look here again. You'll see the different stages of brood. So the small little larvae in there, very small little grubs if you like. Yeah, and these here are sort of the ones that are finished. Look closely, you might even see some coming out, emerging. These in here. Okay, so with that, now what I do here is I just get my new queen here. You see it comes over here like this. And then what I do is I just basically place that in here, and as you see they will eat that there. Like I said there, if I was to place her straight in, they would soon detect her and go from there. So that just sits in there between the frames, and they'll smell her through there, and just underneath the frame there as well, they've got enough room to get in there and smell her and go through that way. So okay, so what we'll do now is we'll close that up now, and that's simply it. Very easy process, and like I said, the hardest bit here generally is just finding the queen. But now that we've done that and we've identified her, and away we go. So I'll just close these up, and as you see, that just because they're a swarm, they're only very small, but they're just starting to move on now. that's it. So there you go. So there's your new queen. Put the lid on. And that's how simple it is. Okay, till next time, dunkshoney.com.au.